Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome everyone today. We're going to begin our program in about 15 minutes. Ladies, ladies and gentlemen, please begin taking your seats. We will begin our ceremony in about 5 minutes. We would also like to invite everyone to remain after the program and enjoy refreshments with families, students, and faculty in our cafeteria. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, and distinguished guests, good afternoon and welcome to the 7th Annual Completion Ceremony here at the Tarrant County College Center of Excellence for Aviation, Transportation, and Logistics. Today, we gather to honor and celebrate the accomplishments of our students who have completed areas of study in one of our 5 technical programs: Professional Pilot, Aviation Maintenance, Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Nondestructive Testing, and Welding. These are no ordinary areas of study. Each program trains students for the rigorous demands of industry and prepares them to compete successfully in the aviation and logistics marketplace. The technical demands of these specialized programs cannot be overstated. The training of commercial and instructor pilots, aircraft maintenance technicians, logistics personnel, non-destructive testing specialists, and top-class welders require a dedication of study, demonstration, and testing well beyond and unlike most other vocational endeavors. We've come together today at our Alliance Airport campus to recognize these students and their devotion to these studies, and to celebrate their completion of these very difficult courses. And we invite you to join us along with our graduating students at the Tarrant County College commencement ceremonies in 2 weeks on May 16th at the Fort Worth Convention Center in downtown Fort Worth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here to begin today's festivities, we would like to introduce your host, the Division Dean of Business and Industry. Please join us in welcoming Dr. Michael Esquivel.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here with us today. I am Dr. Mike Esquivel, Dean of Business Industry at Tarrant County College's Northwest Campus. Today we celebrate an important milestone as we recognize the hard work, dedication, and achievements of our students across our technical programs. This is a moment these students have worked incredibly hard to reach, and we're honored to share it all with you. To the families, friends, and supporters in attendance, thank you. Your encouragement, patience, and belief have helped make this day possible. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize a few distinguished guests and members of our leadership team. Please join me in welcoming our Northwest Campus President, Dr. Zarina Blankenbaker. Thank you, Dr. Blankenbaker. Dr. Thomas Sosa, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Dr. Sosa. And Dr. James Edwards, Vice President of Student Affairs. And from our academic leadership team, Janetta Cruz, Dean of Lifestyle and Community Learning. And Dr. Eric Camarillo, Dean of Learning Commons. Thank you. We also recognize the distinguished members of our Board of Trustees. In attendance, Trustee Laura Pritchett. The President's Cabinet and the many faculty, staff, and supporters of Tarrant County College who are here today. Your presence reflects a strong community that stands behind our students. This time, I would like to introduce the Advisory Committee chairs who will assist in presenting the program pins. First is Ms. Lee Brewster, Vice President of Thoroughbred Aviation, representing Aviation Maintenance and Professional Pilot. Also, Mr. Shannon Barquette, Director of Operations for Schneider Logistics, representing Logistics and Supply Chain Management, and also assisting with welding. Also, Mr. Dylan Tynes, NDT Technical Sales Representative and ASNT Level 3, representing Nondestructive Testing. Thank you for your continued partnership and for the role you play in preparing our students for success beyond the classroom. It is my great pleasure to officially welcome you to the 7th Annual Completion Ceremony at the Center of Excellence for Aviation, Transportation, and Logistics, Seattle. Today is about more than completion. It's about growth, resilience, and the commitment each student has shown along the way. From long hours in labs and simulators to balancing work, family, and school, these students have demonstrated what it truly means to stay the course. Now, it is a true honor to introduce our guest speaker, Cynthia Dawson-Tippa. For more than 30 years, Cynthia has been part of the American Airlines family, beginning her career as a flight attendant with a bold dream of one day becoming a pilot. Through perseverance, dedication, and unwavering belief in herself, she turned that dream into a reality. Today, she serves as an international first officer on the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Cynthia holds a Bachelor of Science in Aviation Science from Everglades University and a Master of Science in Aeronautics and Human Factors Aviation Systems from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Beyond her professional achievements, she is deeply committed to service, volunteering with veteran initiatives, supporting youth programs, and giving back to her community and church. Her story is one of determination, courage, and possibility, qualities that reflect the very journey our students are celebrating today. Please join me in a warmly welcoming of Cynthia Dawson-Tippa.
Wow, thank you. What an honor it is for me to be here today. And I would like to begin by first thanking Tarrant County College and Miss Allison Uden for inviting me to be a part of this magnificent event. Graduates, congratulations. I am so excited to celebrate your accomplishments. When I was thinking about what I wanted to share, I was actually taken back and I remembered what it felt like for me to be in your shoes. In fact, it wasn't too long after I went through the process that you are now currently going through that I had an experience I will never forget. It occurred during the time when I was actually applying for the airlines, and there was one airline I had my heart set on. And so I went out there, I polished my resume, I sent off my applications, and I actually went through the interview process. And I was so excited when I got back home, I just knew they were gonna call and offer me a job at any moment. Well, a couple of days went by, and a FedEx envelope arrived, and it was from them. So you can imagine, I literally tried to shred that thing trying to get into it. I pulled out that piece of paper, and there it was. Those black letters hit me right in the face, and they delivered the biggest gut punch I think I've ever felt. I was holding a rejection letter. Those words took my breath away. That cut was deep. That letter hit me to the core. It attacked my passion. And if I'm honest, it actually really tried to steal my confidence. It wasn't a feeling that I could just shake off easily. And it took some time before I was ready to put myself out there again and risk another rejection and actually try again. But I knew I had to, because the other option was giving up, and I couldn't give up. And so eventually I did, and my next interview was with American. That was 25 years ago. And what I know now today that I didn't know back then is that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I learned 3 things going through that experience, and it's those 3 things that I want to share with you today. And the very first one is, do not ever let the opinions of other people define you. Or in my case, I couldn't let one airline's rejection define me or my hopes or my dreams. After I received that letter, it was so interesting. It was like all of these people suddenly came out of the woodwork who were now experts on me. The problem was they weren't very kind. They were mean. They belittled me. They told me that I couldn't. And they came up with a multitude of reasons why, in their opinion, I would never fly for an airline. And that's when I flew with a really wise captain. And on this one particular flight, I'm sure I was probably droning on and on, but he got right in my face and he said, you know, Cindy, he said, sometimes the best revenge is actually success. And what he encouraged me to do was to quit listening to all of those people who didn't know me and to start surrounding myself with people who did, people who would encourage me to keep going and moving towards my goals and my dreams. And when I finally embraced his wisdom, suddenly all of those really loud, obnoxious voices that were trying to tell me that I can't, they suddenly got really quiet. Just because I didn't fit their profile did not mean that I could not be a pilot and that I could not fly. I encourage you, graduates, live your dreams, live your life, and do not worry about the opinions or the expectations of others. They are not you. We cannot all be the same, and we are not all on the same path. At American, it takes approximately 13 different work groups performing different tasks and functions in order for us to get one of my flights from DFW to an international destination and back again. Now, mind you, those 13 work groups are only the people that work for American. They don't include the other people that work on or service our aircraft that are not employed by American. Now, obviously, I'm a pilot. And if you ask any pilot, we're going to tell you we are the most important component in moving our metal. Yeah. Well, while my job really is important and our role is important, the reality is, without all of those different work groups, our mission could not be accomplished. We need everyone, and without everyone, none of us would fly. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy took a trip down to NASA. And while he was there, he saw a man walking down the hall carrying a broom. So the president decided he was going to go up and introduce himself to this gentleman. And during this introduction, he asked the man what he did. And without hesitation, he turned around and he said, well, Mr. President, I'm helping put a man on the moon. What I find so fascinating about this story is the fact that the man was carrying a broom because he was the janitor. And though he held that title, it was actually his understanding an ability to embrace his purpose that mattered. He knew that he was helping those scientists and engineers and astronauts. He was helping them by ensuring that they could focus on their job. They didn't have to worry about things like emptying trash cans or cleaning bathrooms or sweeping floors. That was this man's role, and that was his contribution to the overall goal. His purpose met with theirs, and together they were all putting a man on the moon. Titles and positions do not determine our value. Our mindset does. It is what we believe about ourselves that matters. And we can either believe that I'm here just to sweep the floors, or we can believe that we are here to help put a man on the moon. This brings me to point number 2. Embrace change and setbacks. Change is part of life. And whether it looks like it's bringing something good or even bad, or whether it facilitates a loss or a gain, it's often disruptive to our lives. And in fact, most people don't like change. They resist it. But I think one of the reasons why we tend to resist change so much is because often 2 words come along with it. And those 2 words are fear and failure. I have to tell you, these 2 words, they do not have to limit you, and they do not have to characterize your progress. I love this acronym or definition of fear. F-E-A-R. False evidence appearing real. You know, when something gets in your face and tries to intimidate you, tries to hold you back and tell you that you can't, or maybe if you just start to find yourself shrinking back and not standing up boldly, following your heart, it's time to stop for a moment, assess the situation, and then remember that most of those things that are screaming at you, the what-ifs that are out there, they will never, ever come to pass. Yes, change is going to be part of your future, graduates. While industries employing the technical trades like we're in tend to ebb and flow with the economic highs and lows, I'm going to tell you in our industries, those swings are often exaggerated, and those lows can be really low. But the outcome of those lows depends not on your circumstance. It doesn't depend on the environment that you're in. It depends on the way we respond to them. And it depends on the choices that we make. In life, we're going to face obstacles. I have found that when I face obstacles and I start to have to direct myself around them, I find that those obstacles often have led me right directly into my next opportunity. I have also found in my life that when something looked like a setback, it was actually a setup taking me somewhere better than I was before. I mean, think about it. I now work for the world's largest airline because another airline didn't want me. I've also found on my life when one door closes and then another one, it's time for me to pause. Notice I didn't say stop. It's time for me to pause, assess the situation, and then look for an open window. And this brings me to point number 3. The path you're on is a journey. It's a journey that will last a lifetime. Enjoy the journey. Now, I know for many of you, this is just the beginning, but there are others of you that have already started looking for jobs. You've already started sending out applications and maybe even going through your interviews. But I challenge you, as you go through this process and as you go through this time, enjoy right now and each step along the way. These moments won't last forever. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say stay engaged in the present and dwell in the present. You know, so many times we see people and they just seem like they're stuck in the past. They can't get over it and shake it off. And while it is okay to look backwards into the past and even to our mistakes and learn from them, don't linger there. Living in the land of those what ifs, what if I had done this or what if this had happened? Or wallowing around and beating ourselves up over our mistakes will do 2 things. Number 1, it will kill your joy. And number 2, it will steal your progress. The only time failure ever really does become final is when we make the choice to prevent it from allowing us to move into the present. So what am I saying? Live in the present and dwell in the present. Also, looking forward towards the future, I definitely want you to set goals. I want you to have hopes and dreams, but I want to caution you not to become so obsessed with the future and landing the next big thing that you forget to live in the present. I learned this early on when I was building time flying for a stepping stone job. I don't know where you are, but this is my Twin Otter story. I was flying Twin Otters over the Grand Canyon, and it was a fabulous job, but there was one problem with it. I was miserable. And the reason why I was miserable is because in my mind, I was not already working for the airlines. By the way, I was also making everybody around me miserable. On this one particular flight, we were headed back into Las Vegas, and the sun was beginning to set, and the sky was just painted with this brilliant purple and orange and pink. I'm telling you, if you've never seen the sunset over the desert, I hope someday that you will have the opportunity to. But as I was watching that just brilliant color slowly fade into darkness, I had a keen sense of awareness that I was witnessing something that not many people will ever get to see. And in fact, I realized that I may never get to see it again as well because I knew I was already interviewing for the airlines. I knew that tomorrow wasn't guaranteed, and I knew that if tomorrow did come, my tomorrow might change. And that was the day that I determined to live in the present, to enjoy the role that I filled at that point in time. Graduates, wherever your path leads you, the role you fill will most likely have far-reaching impact on those around you. And I hope as you progress through your journey that you will take some time to mentor someone. Now, I'm not necessarily saying engage in a formal mentor program, but what I am encouraging you to do is take some time to inspire someone following in your footsteps. Though you may never know what impact you might have, I can tell you the time you spend can change a life forever. In closing, I want to remind you that success and satisfaction don't come by accident. They come by choice, or rather a series of choices. And that just obtaining success alone is not going to guarantee that you're happy. But if you combined your happiness with passion, you can be successful. And it will be that same passion, along with a little bit of resilience, that gave you the tenacity to get you to where you are today, to want to take another test, to read another book, and to study, 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 that will carry you into your future through the thrill of each high and the uncertainty of each low. That resilience, it will keep you going when times get tough and resistance comes. Remember, it is only when we push back against something that is holding us back that we become stronger. And I want to leave you with one final word, and it is this: fear can kill far more dreams than failure ever will. It has been said that if you believe that you can do something, or you believe that you can't, you will be right, and I do believe that. But I am going to tell you, more than anything else on this earth, you will never, ever know what you can accomplish unless you try. Graduates, I hope your path forward is filled with triumph. Thank you so much for this time, and congratulations.
Oh, not. All right, well, thank you, Cynthia. We do have a small token of appreciation for you to present to you. All right. And now the moment we've been waiting for. The pins being presented today symbolize the transition from student to professional in each of our programs. They represent not just completion, but a dedication, discipline, and perseverance it took to get here. You can find images of each program pin on the back page of our ceremony program at the bottom. So let us begin. Mr. Philip Craig, Department Chair of Aviation over Aviation Maintenance. Do you have students eligible to receive the Certificate of Completion or the Associate of Applied Science degree for the 2025-2026 academic year?
Dean Esquivel, after years of rigorous training and dedication, these students demonstrate the knowledge, skill, and professionalism required of aviation maintenance technicians. It's an honor to present them fully qualified and ready for program completion.
Very good. Please present your students.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to introduce the following students. Bababe Mega Arroyo. Henry Bolt. Antonio Cadena. Marco Casani. Branson Clancy. Matthew Krupp. Ochola Dowdy. Zachary Davis. Trevor Cole Deal. James Frentis. Evan Fierro. Aiden Lee Fuentes. Lucas Gavitt. Cameron Geisler. Brendan Hayes. Genevieve Heitzer. Andres Hernandez. Daniel Screeve. Christopher Holman. Daniele Holman. Tyler Jones. Dennis Krasowski. Aaron Luman. Michael Martinez. Noah Mendoza. Will Miller. Kelly Moore. Jacob Booth-Naw. Juan Vicente Narvaez. Brian Alexander Orth. Jose Alejandro Olivo Martinez. Hui Pham. Matthias P. Sinsick. Mark Rosa. Zeke Sanchez. Bradley Singer. Joseph Smith. Brenton Wayne Stecker. Levi Tate. Hui Henry Tron. Johnny Tron. Vincent Treza. Dondre Courtney White. Gabriel White. Tavion Woodward. And Joshua Yang.
Loader, Department Chair of Logistics and Supply Chain Management. You have students eligible to receive the Certificate of Completion or the Associate of Applied Science degree for the 2025-2026 academic year.
Dean Esquivel, over the past 2 years, these students have dedicated themselves to mastering the principles of logistics and supply chain management. Through extensive evaluations, they have demonstrated their attainment of knowledge and skills, proving they have what it takes to excel in our field. I am honored and privileged to present them to you as the leaders of the logistics and supply chain industry of today and long into the future. They are qualified and prepared for program completion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the next group of students. We'd like to introduce Marcus Abayar. Joshua Harris. Donato Garza Ochoa. Tresor Goga. Camry McMiller. Yolanda Yvette Moore. Jillian Nolan. Lawrence J. Smith. Jock Chimwanga.
Next, we invite Ms. Venetia Queen, Program Coordinator of Nondestructive Testing. You have students eligible to receive the certificate of completion or the Associate Applied Science degree for the 2025-2026 academic year.
Yes, Dean Esquivel. We have 13 graduates as we celebrate our third year here at Tarrant County College, represented by 11 students. These students have not only completed the requirements of TCC, SAC, COC, but the majority of them will graduate as Level 2s already working in industry in accordance with NAS 410 and TC 1A. To my students, when we envisioned this program, we never envisioned a group like you. You have succeeded and exceeded every expectation set before you. You have reached for the stars and landed jobs inspecting rockets. You are the first AMT and NDT graduate of our program. I'm always asked if my students are unicorns, and I tell everyone no. They are pioneers because they paved the way to the next generation. We have celebrated. It has got lost in the sauce, and life be lifing. You have taught me so much, and you will forever remain a part of my heart. Many blessings to you, and may you have many opportunities before you.
Please present your students.
We love you, Ms. B.
As we continue, please welcome Adizia Aragon. Kabani Lamont Brown. Alvaro Hernandez. Jonathan Alexander Kirkpatrick. James R. Maloney. Ryan Pinchera. John Sanchez. Aaron Cole Cyrus. Charlize Tejas. Bryce Trumbull. Nicholas Xavier Ambrose Veliz.
Next, we invite David McGarity, Department Chair of Aviation over Professional Pilot. Do you have students eligible to receive the Certificate of Completion or the Associate Applied Science degree for the 2025-2026 academic year?
Yes, Dean Esquivel. Today we have people who have left the earth and learned how to fly through the clouds. These people have gone from not being able to fly at all to now being professional pilots in commercial. They've gone from where I would just let them fly with my wife's mother-in-law, but now you can carry my grandchildren. So I'm very proud of you and happy to call you my colleagues. Thank you, Dean Esquivel.
Thank you. Please present your students.
I'm pleased to introduce the following students: Maria Laura Bolivar Jimenez, Stallion Delgadillo, Santiago Diaz Ruben Villasenor, Yolanda Fernandez, John Fergano, Mohammed Hassan, Ladrina Jones, Joshua Kostopoulos, Branson Langor, Adrian Laviaga, Mahad Noor, Daniel Alejandro Ponce, Larissa Puckett, Benjamin Sands, and Dominic Vaccaro.
Next, we invite Mr. Mike Bedina, Department Chair of Mechanical and Industrial Technology, who's over the welding program. Do you have students eligible to receive the certificate of completion or the Associate of Applied Science degree for the 2025-2026 academic year?
Dean Esquivel, the welding students have worked diligently over the past few years to develop the skills needed to succeed in the welding industry. Through hands-on projects, rigorous testing, and more grinding than they care to admit, they have demonstrated both the knowledge and technical ability required to excel in their respective fields. I am confident that our students are prepared to contribute to local, state, national, global industries, fabricating, building, and maintaining critical infrastructure, not only here on Earth, but potentially infinity and beyond. From structural steel to space-bound components, they are ready to leave their mark one weld bead at a time.
Very good. Please present your students.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome these students: Mariangela Bassett Lupavisi, Egan Borgman. Trey LaPierre. Noah Rodriguez. Benjamin Smith. Natalia Quiones Sirajita. And Zoe Waters.
Before we conclude, we'd like to recognize a few more important groups. We all Seattle faculty and staff, please stand and be recognized for your dedication and commitment to our students. Please stand, faculty, staff. Nice job out there. We also extend our sincere appreciation to the program coordinators and event organizers who made today possible. And now to our students. Please stand, turn, and face your family and friends. Let's give them a round of applause for their support, encouragement, and belief in your journey. This accomplishment belongs to them all. Nice job. Let me take your seats. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate this special occasion. We invite you to continue the celebration with us in the cafeteria for refreshments and fellowship. Be sure to visit the photo backdrop located behind us in the loading dock area. You can take photos. This concludes the 7th annual completion ceremony at the Center of Excellence for Aviation, Transportation, and Logistics. To the class of 2026, congratulations. We are incredibly proud of you. We look forward to all the lives ahead of you in the future. You're all dismissed. Get some food. Show your families the lab areas. You're welcome to visit all the academic areas. Thank you.